I planned my dream girls trip of a lifetime. Then a friend crashed it on her own invitation. Now I'm torn, speak up or lose my voice forever. For the past 3 years, I've been talking about this trip. It started as a casual dream between me and my best friend Kayla. We'd sit in coffee shops or scroll through Pinterest together, saving beach villas and sunset photos, promising ourselves that one day when we had the money and the time we'd go. Just the two of us, somewhere warm, somewhere quiet, somewhere far from deadlines, boy problems, and the endless noise of adulthood. Last month, that one day finally became real. I got a small work bonus. Kayla landed a freelance project that gave her just enough flexibility. After hours of texting flight deals and sending TikToks of Bali food markets and Thai island hopping, we booked it 10 days in Phuket. A beachfront Airbnb, 2 hammocks, spa days, boat tours, and most importantly, no drama. Or so we thought. Then came Lauren. Now, to be fair, Lauren isn't a stranger. She's part of our larger friend group. We've hung out plenty: birthday parties, group dinners, a few movie nights. She's funny, bubbly, and always up for a night out, but she's also a lot. She has this way of taking up space, not just physically, but emotionally. Every conversation turns into her story. Every plan somehow bends to her needs. She's not mean exactly, Fal. Just intense, high energy, and when things don't revolve around her, she notices. And she reacts. So when Lauren found out through Instagram stories that Kayla and I had booked a trip without inviting her, she didn't ask if she could come. She told us she was. The text came in like this: "OMG, I saw your Phuket trip. That's gonna be epic. I just asked for time off. Can't wait to come." Just like that. No, would it be okay if I joined? No, do you guys mind if I tag along? Just a declaration, like this was some open group event. Kayla and I were both stunned. We stared at our phones, texting each other frantically behind her back like teenagers in class. What do we say? How do we say it? Because here's the thing, this trip wasn't planned with her in mind. It wasn't personal, we just wanted something quiet, easy, intimate, a true reset. And Lauren's energy is the exact opposite of that. We knew that if she came, everything would change. Suddenly, it wouldn't be late night talks on the beach or slow mornings with coffee. It would be loud nights out, day trips we hadn't budgeted for, social media pressure, drinking, drama, and somehow we'd both end up tiptoeing around her mood swings. But how do you say, please don't come without being labeled cruel or worse, excluded? How do you stand your ground when you're not even sure you're allowed to draw that boundary? Because technically, we didn't tell her not to come. And now we're stuck in this weird, uncomfortable limbo, waiting for the trip that was supposed to feel like freedom to turn into a guilt-ridden mess. We didn't stop Lauren. We wanted to, but we didn't. Maybe it was fear, maybe guilt, or maybe we were just so caught off guard that by the time we figured out what to say, it was already too late. Because a week after her "I'm coming too" text, Lauren sent her flight confirmation. Same dates, same airport. She even asked us if we wanted to split the cost of a private shuttle from the airport to the Airbnb. The same Airbnb Kayla and I had booked for 2. Now we were 3. And just like that, the trip changed. The group chat blew up with Lauren's suggestions. She wanted to do an elephant sanctuary tour, even though Kayla and I had specifically chosen not to, because we weren't sure about the ethics. She wanted beach party nights and club hopping, something neither of us had packed for. She wanted matching outfits for content. She sent a dozen TikToks of influencers on scooters and boats and rooftop lounges. Every plan Kayla and I had made, quiet days, spa time, afternoon markets, was slowly pushed to the side. I tried to be flexible. I told myself we could still enjoy it, that maybe having her there would add some spontaneous fun, but something in me was already tight. A little voice in the back of my head whispering, "You gave this away. And now it's not yours anymore." By the time we landed in Phuket, it wasn't a vacation, it was a performance. Lauren was on from the second we touched down, loud, selfieing, talking nonstop. She asked strangers to take videos of us at the airport. She insisted we do a group cheers with coconut water for the gram. And the Airbnb, she assumed she'd share a bed with Kayla because you two are besties anyway, right? I ended up on the couch. The first 2 days were exhausting. Every meal was a debate. Every plan had to be Instagrammable. Every moment had to be captured. Kayla tried to be the peacemaker. She kept giving me apologetic looks behind Lauren's back. But that only made it worse. Because I wasn't just losing control of my own trip, I was losing the connection I'd built with my best friend. By day 4, I wasn't sleeping well. I was withdrawing. I started waking up early just to sit by the water before the others got up. It was the only peace I had. And I kept thinking, why didn't I speak up? Why am I letting someone bulldoze the one thing I've looked forward to for years? The moment that broke me came during dinner at a beach restaurant Lauren had picked. She was tipsy, loud, laughing about how we needed to loosen up. She turned to Kayla and said, "Honestly, I saved this trip. You guys would have just sat around in robes and called it a vacation." And Kayla laughed. Not maliciously, not cruelly, just to keep the peace. But to me, it felt like a knife. That was supposed to be our vacation. And somehow I became a guest on my own trip. I didn't plan to say anything. I really didn't. I had already decided I would just survive the rest of the trip, go home, and quietly never vacation with Lauren again. I'd take the loss, swallow it, let it sit with all the other moments in my life where I didn't speak up, just added it to the pile. But something about that dinner, about that one sentence, cracked something open. I saved this trip. She didn't save anything. She stole it. She took something that wasn't hers and acted like she was the hero for doing it. After dinner, I walked ahead of them back to the Airbnb. I didn't wait. I didn't talk. When we got in, Lauren collapsed on the couch and started scrolling through photos on her phone. Kayla went into the kitchen to get water, and I followed her. She looked at me, and before I could even speak, she said, I know it's been a lot. And I just lost it. Not in a screaming way, not dramatic, but quietly, firmly. I don't even feel like I'm on my own trip anymore, I said. I don't feel like this is what we planned. You and I were supposed to do this together. And now I'm sleeping on a couch while she takes over everything. Kayla didn't respond right away. She looked down at her glass, then back at me. I didn't know how to stop it either. I thought maybe it wouldn't be that bad. I didn't think she'd take over like this. I asked her, "Do you want her here?" She hesitated. Not really. There it was, the truth, floating between us unspoken for days. We sat in that silence for a moment before Lauren's voice piped up from the living room. "You guys want to go out tonight? There's that beach bar I saw on TikTok. Could be fun." Kayla looked at me, and for the first time all trip I didn't hesitate. "No," I said, walking out of the kitchen. "We don't." Lauren blinked at me. "Wait, what?" "I'm sorry, Lauren," I said, trying to keep my voice even. "But this trip wasn't meant to be like this. You weren't invited, and we didn't say anything because we didn't want to hurt your feelings. But it's hurt us instead." She stared at me, frozen, confused, like no one had ever said no to her before. "Wow," she finally said, standing up. "So you're kicking me out?" "No," I replied. "We just want to have the trip we planned, the one we needed. And maybe that means we need space." Lauren stormed into the bedroom without saying anything else. Slammed the door. The energy in the Airbnb shifted, instantly tense, still uncomfortable. Kayla and I stood there for a long time, unsure of what we'd just done. Was it cruel? Too late? Too passive-aggressive? Maybe. But it was also necessary. We spent the rest of the evening in silence on the balcony, watching the tide roll in. Lauren left the next morning. She didn't say goodbye. She booked a different flight home and slipped out before sunrise, leaving her key on the kitchen counter and a passive-aggressive sticky note that just said, "Enjoy your robes and silence." I should have felt victorious, relieved, but instead, I just felt hollow. Kayla and I spent the last 2 days of the trip trying to salvage what we could. Massages, street food, a visit to a local art village, things we originally planned finally done in peace. But something was off, like the air had been sucked out of the room and nothing could fully refill it. I kept wondering, did I ruin a friendship? Did I wait too long to speak up, or was the friendship never really that solid to begin with? When we got home, Lauren unfollowed me. No big confrontation, no long message, just quiet removal. We haven't spoken since. Some of our mutual friends asked what happened, and I told them the truth. That I didn't invite her, that I didn't know how to say no. Some understood, some didn't. And now, months later, I still think about that trip. Not because of the beauty of Thailand or the laughter with Kayla, or even the quiet beach mornings. I think about it because it taught me something I didn't want to learn. That sometimes when you don't speak up early, when you don't protect your boundaries, what you lose isn't just a vacation. It's trust, self-respect, connection. And once it's gone, you can't always get it back. So now I'm left wondering, what would you have done if a friend invited themselves into your escape? Would you have let it slide, or risked the fallout by speaking up? If you've ever had a friend overstep a boundary or struggled to say no when it mattered most, tell me in the comments. Let's be honest about how hard it is to choose yourself sometimes. And if stories like this resonate with you, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who needs to hear they're not alone. We've all got our stories. Let's tell them together.